Yep, you read the title. A few weeks have passed since Season 14 came out, and now I can confidently say that dive comps are back. No more Orisa absolutely destroying your team in 0.1 nanoseconds because she's broken. I mean, they still haven't nerfed her, but she's still weaker than the dive comp because it ultimately got a huge buff. And I'm talking the classic dive comp. None of this Brig Juno stuff, I'm talking OG Winston Lucio from Veterans Overwatch. In the words of Billy Butcher, it's absolutely diabolical. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what changed to make the dive comp viable again. I'll get into it in a minute, but first I'm going to ask you to subscribe, as I want to keep making content like this that isn't only entertaining, but informative too. We're nearing that 1k sub milestone, and it'd be super cool if we could reach it early into 2025. Now, let's dissect what exactly makes the dive comp as strong as it is today. I could sum this up in two words: buffs and nerfs. And doesn't count as one of those words. In this patch, we've seen some pretty nasty buffs, such as Lucio's self-healing being increased in crossfade and Winston's rocket jump now dealing 60 damage on impact with an enemy. It's changes like these that seem ultimately trivial because the numbers look like they're barely changing, but the extra 10 damage or whatever can be game-changing. Let's do some maths here. If Winston deals 70 damage per second in primary fire, and secondary fire deals 50 damage per shot when fully charged, then to kill an enemy with 250 health in a 1v1, all you really need to do is zap them twice with secondary fire as you're pushing up, rocket jump to deal an extra 60 damage, and then primary zap and melee them to finish them off up close.
What did he say?
I think people drastically underestimate Winston's strength because his TTK is actually pretty fast. Now, you might be wondering, but why play OG Dive and not the new D.Va Brig Juno Dive? And the answer is very simple. Because of the way Winston's gun works, he can't really have any of his damage mitigated because he doesn't have a projectile. For example, in a fight against D.Va, he has the upper hand because she can't use defense matrix to absorb his damage. Plus, Winston ignores the rule of armor, dealing 70 damage per second regardless. It's like when you secondary fire against a Genji, he can't deflect it, so you just win. This is all without mentioning how much Lucio aids Winston by going in and dealing additional damage. He's another one of those heroes that is seriously overlooked and passed off as one of the more silly heroes like Wrecking Ball. But his damage output and survivability is insane, especially on this patch. They just made it harder to Ajax too, so that's another thing to take into consideration when you're playing Lucio. Boop goes through blocks like Defense Matrix and Orisa's Javelin Spin, so whilst they're using those abilities, you can deal an extra 45 damage plus melee damage if you throw in a quick punch. But that just about does it for this video. I'm so glad the OG dive comp is back because I was honestly getting sick of Orisa and D.Va alternating between being the meta. In a world where everyone is playing these two, play Winston. Break the mold, and I'm talking mold like mold on a piece of bread. They've been in and out of rotation so many times that it's getting stale. It's just boring. Thank God I don't see them that often in 6v6 because I think I'd get some kind of war flashback and enter a fit of rage. Anyways, thanks for watching. Once again, I'm going to ask you to subscribe and leave a like on this video, as it lets me know that you've enjoyed it and you want to see more. Let me know how you are finding Season 14 in the comments so far. I'm just glad that countering Orisa has become even easier thanks to OG Dive making a return. I hope you all had a good Christmas, and finally, have a nice day or night if you're watching this at night, and make sure you check out some of my other videos. Not only will I appreciate it, but you might too.